Hello everyone. I just did a video of my integrated separate system and I thought, well, setup is already there. I have two tripods, I might as well do another one. And just because this, yesterday somebody asked me, I have an A210 power amp and a C310 with a custom 10 farad capacitance power supply. And he wants upgrade. And I thought, yeah, you always want upgrade. Everybody wants upgrade. But there are limitations of upgrade. You can't just keep going and going and going and hope for the best. I don't have a marketing department to tell me that I'm gonna make up some upgrade and try to claim it's upgrade and going up like $100,000, $200,000, $250,000 a power amp. How much better can it be from a $50,000 to $250,000? Of course, it's not 5 times. Many people has been talking about diminishing of return, but to me, it's like a suit jacket. How much different between a $3,500 suit jacket and a $35,000 suit jacket? After a certain point, it's not so much about improvement anymore. It's just different. It's like a steak. It's different. What's the difference between an Australian M9 and a Kobe A5? It's beef. More tender? How much more tender can it be? Anyway, I'm going off tangent and going circle. So, instead of trying to improve what you have, yes, I can always improve what I have. But I'm also thinking about, yes, I'm going to take a lot of money from you, my customer, to improve something, but is it going to be worth the money? And if I cannot hear the difference or enough difference, I'm not going to take money from you. So instead of keep improving what you have, which is very good to begin with, you can spend the same amount of money to improve maybe 5% if I have to put a number on it, or a different system, second system. I know a lot of people will say, I can't have 2 systems, I cannot have 3 systems, but it's all about priority. Some people have 1 car, and some people have 2 cars, some people have 3 cars just because they like it, they put priority. Now, I do understand that a lot of people live with somebody else and space in the house is a shared space, lack of a better word. You have to compromise with your partners, families, but you can always think about if you have a floor standing speaker, you can have a small speaker, different power amps, different CD player, different preamp, different things. 1 more box. It's not going to take up a lot of space, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. But this is what I do. The system at the back here is the number 8 system in this toy house, my toy house. I call it my toy house because I'm making toys, right? It's toy house. I'm designing toys. Well, what's the difference between an adult and a child? Is basically the price of the toys. It's really toys. So this system, sounds different than any other system because of the room, because of the amp, because of the speaker. Rooms has a lot to do with it, and you can probably hear there's a lot of echo in this room. I'm still working on taming it down. I know I'm not going to tame it 100% down, which I'm not even thinking about tempting to do it, because I want this room to be livelier than the other room that I have. And I have other room that is lots less live. One of the room is actually almost complete dead. But it actually gave me a lot of space, lots of depth, lot of width, and a lot of height. But in a small room, this room is 22 feet wide. The other dead, less live room is only 11 feet wide. 6'7" ceiling. But it gave me a really, really big image. Now I'm going off tangent again. So back to the main track. What I'm trying to say is, after a certain point, you cannot improve anymore. Doesn't matter how much money you're trying to put into a component, how much you want to add into a component. Yes, I can always add some more, but there's always a limit. I have been saying power supply has no limit. I'm going to stand by that. But after a certain point, your improvement curve is going to be platooned out less and less and less. Yes, you can keep going up more and more, but it's going to have improve less. But for the same amount of money, again, for the same amount of money, you can actually have a different system, sound different. There's no one size fits all. Don't kid me. You can't have one system to play all the music that you like. For example, even within the classical music, chamber music is different than symphonic music. A system that actually play really good in symphonic music, not necessarily able to play chamber music as good because it's different environment. You don't listen to chamber music in a symphonic hall, or you cannot put 107 pieces of symphony orchestra into a recital hall. So they're all different. So why not have different system? Okay, I'm not going back to that. So we sidetrack. Not many people can have different system, but so far I can. So this back system is number 8, and behind the camera is going to be number 9. This system at the back, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit and show you this. This is a 28-watt integrated amp. And driving a pair of GPA, Great Pain Audio. I put it on this one. My finger on this. This is a GPA 604. There's over 95 dB efficiency. So it's easy, plenty of power for 28-watt drive in it. And it sounds really good on lots of music, and they were designed for studio use, and you can listen to all day long without fatigue. It has been proven true. I have been listening to it for all day long in my workshop for the last year. I just recently moved it to this live room here, and I'm going to take off the camera and put the camera on the tripod behind me and show you what I have here. And I have designed over the last 30 years. I've designed the different amps. This is a 28 watt, and the current lineups I have amps like 50 watts, 80 watts, 120 watts, 135 watts, and I'm making a 150 watt monoblock. And those are low power to high power. At the same time, with 150 watt monoblock, I'm also designing a 25 watt, rather single-ended power amp to drive different speaker. So a 25 watt would be perfect for this GPA 604. But then there are speakers that need a big power amp. A big power amp, it will sound different. And let me take off the camera. It will sound different than a small amp. Now, let me show you this. Zoom out. Oh, that's the farthest I can zoom out. And just in this part of amp, I have a 120 watt stereo amp, and that's a balance amp. These two are the BC2 75 watt hybrid Class A single-ended power amp back in the mid-90s. And that is a 60 watt push-pull tube amp, classics design push-pull tube amps. And the outer two are the BC208. They're 220 watts into 8, 440 watt into 4, and about 550 into 2. So within the frame of this picture, we have 4 different kinds of power amp. Now this one and the outer two are in the same series, so they are more or less the same. But these two are totally different. And I designed them, all of them. So what I'm trying to say is I go different route for a different purpose. I don't have a marketing department to tell me that I gotta make like 5 or 6 amp that sounds about the same, except they have a little bit of higher power and lower power. I don't have those kind of control on me. So I can design anything that I think is suitable for my customer. Or in this case, I have a pair of GPA 604 which can be driven by a very small power, and I'm working on a model NS225, which is a 25 watt amp to drive them. And without the tube, it actually sounds like single-ended tube. So beside multiple power amp, I also have reason to have lots of different speakers. I'm going to put the camera on the other tripod without trying to trip over myself. Okay, so these are the CLSs, and they can be driven by 15 watt, believe it or not. But as long as that 15 watt have true voltage of 15 watt, because they don't need a lot of current until they're high frequency, and at high frequency there's not much energy into it. Now the other two, this one is the Martin Logan Statement E2. They have a panel, mid-woofer, they are dipole, and they also have a subwoofer tower in the back. And I'm going to take off the camera from the tripod and show you the subwoofer tower. These are the subwoofer tower, and they're also dipole. Now they can actually work in a small room. They are easy enough to drive because they have a big panel. They claim about 92, 93 dB. I can believe it because I use 50 watt to drive them. They're quite efficient. Now there's another pair of speakers at the back there. They need sledgehammer. These are the Altec Lansing 511. They were from the mid-80s, and they do need at least 50 watts. If you don't have any 50 watt, a true 50 watt with adequate current, they can clip with moderate volume. So what I am saying is you just cannot have one amp and able to drive all kinds of speaker and all kinds of music. I'm putting the camera back on the tripod. I'm going to sit back down. And I gotta be careful about my microphone wire. I'm still playing around with that. That's the reason I'm designing different amps. They're not necessarily the same series, so they sound different. So different amps sound differently for different kind of music. That would be my ultimate goal. I know not a lot of people can actually work towards that, but you can try anyway. But it's when you have a very good system, you can try to improve it. You can buy something else to improve it. But those improvements are not necessarily improve. You can claim they're more accurate, but what is accurate? You gotta define accurate before you can actually go for that. You can define your goal before you can actually reach the goal or aiming at the goal. You cannot improve something that's already really good. You can make it different, but you cannot improve. So if somebody asks me, they already have my stuff, one of the top end stuff, can I improve it? Yes, I can. How much? Yeah, give me money. Sure, I can improve it, but is it worth it? That's the question. If it's not worth it, I don't know I can sell it to you. I'm not going to lie that I do need to make money to keep designing. Of course I need money. But can I take the money from customer and then, knowing that there's not a lot of improvement, would they come back and ask me how come it doesn't improve that much? Yeah, some of them will. I know some of them will, or at least they will ask the question, and maybe they don't come back the second time. I want them to keep coming back instead of just come back one or twice. So it to me, if you want to improve, it's not so much about improving what you have. It's trying to understand what you like, what kind of music you like, and then understand what those music require to reproduce it as good as possible. then you can actually start to separate different kind of music. Again, it's within classical music, chamber music is different than symphonic music, and then you start to do jazz. Jazz, big band, different than three-piece trio. 17 pieces of big band, they can swing, they blare. Three-piece trio with a piano, where's the blare come from? But if you want a big band, you don't want it smooth, you want it blare. So a system that actually have slightly roll off is more suitable for maybe female vocal. But for big band and swing, it's not as much. So understanding what you like, then you can actually start improving, not quite improving, but having a second system or maybe even third. Now, 3 pairs of speaker in one wall, when one system and 3 amps, it's possible, not uncommon. The purists will start arguing about that you have different speaker interfering with each other. But think about the benefit over the so-called contaminations. The benefit will be actually giving you different sound, different amps, different preamp. Okay, well, one preamp driving two or three different power amp. I've done that. It gives you different sound. It just gives you different sound that's suitable for different kind of music. I can keep going on and on and on. I'm not going to keep doing that because I'll be just going in circle. But what my point is to you is if you're trying to improve something is already really good, from my point of view, I will tell you that I am not going to improve anymore because it's just going to waste your money. I would actually suggest that you buy another second system. Whether from me or not, it's up to you. But I am not designing something that just one case, and that's why I have 8 systems in this toy house working on number 9, so I can have multiple sound, different room, different amps, different speaker for different music. I think I should cut it off now because it's getting long. Okay, I'm going to shut the camera off. Oops, I dropped the mic too.